turn now to one community in Ohio, which is now the center of a growing national debate about civil rights, hate speech, and the Second Amendment. NBC News correspondent and NBC News Now daily anchor Morgan Radford visited the town of Lincoln Heights, where residents have formed an armed community defense group in the wake of a neo-Nazi rally. Morgan joins us now. You were there just on Tuesday. What did the residents tell you about what's going on?
Yeah, I was there just this week. John, it was fascinating because what's interesting is that this town was founded during the Great Migration back in the 20s as a refuge for black citizens, which is why it was especially painful when neo-Nazis suddenly appeared in this 3,000-person majority black town. But they decided to fight back, taking up arms and patrolling their own streets. Now they're at the center of a much larger debate about protection and free speech and who gets it.
All right. Thank you so much for tuning in, my beautiful people, to your beautiful space. This is African Streamline, and I am Atamba Heti. Let's get after this. As I was going through the social media, I found this video and I found it very interesting. And I thought that I must talk about it. You know, these are the things I've been talking about all the times and all the moments here in African Streamline. You see, black people to the eyes of white people, it is like when white people sometimes see black people, they see devils. That's what they see. And they don't see white people as fellow human beings. They see white people, black people, as people who came maybe from hell or people, bad things. That's what they see, according to me. Because listen and see, and if you try to go back and watch everything and see how black people have gone through difficult times in the hands of white people, you'd really know and you'll understand that sometimes when these people look at black people, they feel like, oh, these are not just human beings. They are maybe animals or monkeys or something like that. That's what they see. And it is something that has not started today. It is something that started a long time ago, from way back. Black people have gone through very difficult and tough times in the hands of white people. Talk about segregation that started a long time ago. Talk about the racism that has started a long time ago. Something that has been existing and it has been there for all this time. It is something that has always been there, okay? And therefore, it has gotten to a point when black people are used to segregation. They are used to be resisted. So they don't care anymore. Whether you segregate them, whether you resist them, it is none of their business. Some time back, there's this a town in Ohio that calls Lincoln Heights. And therefore, when these people were being pressed so much and they did all sorts of bad things to them and resisted them to a higher extent, they had to leave and evacuate the place they were living, and they had to go and settle at a place called Lincoln Heights. That's a town in Ohio. And therefore, this town, they found it that just as a place that nobody was living there. They created it. They built that place. They made it a better place for everybody to live. And you find out that this is the only town that many black people stay there. Okay? And therefore, they were living peacefully and very well. Okay? So they built it from zero. They made it a very big place, a very good town, as beautiful and a nice place. But at the end of the day, the white people, again, who are called the neo-Nazis, they came and started attacking them in this place that they are living very peacefully. What is the problem with white people? Do you really think that black people are just demons or something like that? You can't give them peace. You can't let them stay peacefully or live at peace. That's just a question. For example, if something like this would be happening to people like you, would you find it good? Would you feel better? Would you feel nice? It's just a question that I'm asking, because I don't think and I don't see the reason as to why all these things would be happening. So what happened in Lincoln Heights? That attack should be should be a wake up call that every black people should wake up and see. We are living at a time, or we are living in places where, or rather, the people we are living with are not so friendly and they're not so nice. Okay, because things like this are happening. You see, again, white people, they are planning to go on the road tomorrow, actually, on the 5th of April, for demonstration against their government that is being led by Donald Trump. And they're calling upon black people to come and help them demonstrate. You see, the same black people that you just... actually did all attacked them in Lincoln Heights or February 20, like just this year on February. The same people you're calling on the road to come and help you demonstrate. It is something that's really not good. And therefore, black people all over the world should come together, unite yourself and decide that this is what you're going to do. Because if you come together, you will be you'll have enough strength and enough power to be able to sustain yourself. Okay? Because sometimes we have other African Americans who don't want to evacuate America. They want to continue staying in America. Okay? And it's okay. People have choices. But again, don't accept to go through the racism, the segregation. Don't accept to go through the problems, the oppression you're going through, because you are human beings. You didn't choose to go to America. They took you out of Africa in slavery. They took you to America. It is something like that you did not choose yourself. Therefore, we shouldn't allow that to happen at all. It is something we should not allow to happen. So in the years of 1920s, the Lincoln Heights was built by Africans. It was built for us, with us, okay? It was built by us, you see? And therefore, I don't think, and I also don't see the reason as to why people would come there and also they want to start fighting other people and doing all sorts of things. So in February 25th, 2025, this is what happened.
These aren't police officers or soldiers.
We're business owners, we're fathers, we're sons, daughters.
These are civilians, members of the Lincoln Heights Safety and Watch Program.
It's a duty. Okay, let's go.
The duty, protecting their neighborhood, the majority black village of Lincoln Heights, Ohio. After neo-Nazis held a rally here last month, carrying rifles, waving swastikas, and hurling racial slurs, just moments before children were let out of school. At the time, law enforcement officials said the neo-Nazis did not break any laws, but an investigation by county prosecutors is ongoing. Weeks later, the KKK came with these flyers.
First African-American community above the Mason-Dixon line of staff.
Safety and Watch Group spokesperson Durrance Daniels says the police did not do enough, which was more chilling because the town was founded in the 1920s as a safe haven for black residents.
Lincoln Heights is our home. If somebody broke into your home, you call the police, and the police says, you know, if they do it again, we haven't broken any law, so we're just going to allow them to break into your home again. What would you do?
Are you worried at all that having a potentially armed response could just create more friction, create more danger?
I'll answer that by saying I've never felt safer as a black man in my community than I have right now.
The mayor of Evendale, which oversees the police force that responded that day, said in a statement to NBC News, "Our emphasis on de-escalation and public safety resulted in the incident's resolution without injuries to any of the persons involved." But residents here say they can't afford to wait. Every day, the Safety and Watch Group escorts children to school and patrols the streets.
Why do you all wear masks?
Those Nazis, we have reports of them finding our backgrounds, so we're not hiding ourselves from the residents, but we're protecting our family for what we're doing out here.
While many locals do support the security group, some, like business owner Eric Ruffin, say they wish the group wasn't needed.
We don't want to become what we hate. You know, we don't want to become a group of people that walk around feeling like we have a reason in America to have to protect ourselves.
And this community
Stand up.
Stand up.
is not backing down.
We contacted the mayor of Evendale's office, and they say that prosecutors are looking at body camera footage of the neo-Nazi rally to see if any criminal charges could be filed. But meantime, the Hamilton County Sheriff is also calling on state lawmakers to pass legislation making it a crime to wear a mask with the purpose of intimidation while open carry.
And therefore the question remains, are we really safe? Are black people safe? Are African Americans safe? Are Africans all over the world safe? Because these are the kind of things that are not only happening in America, they are also happening in Africa. When you come here to Africa, you'll find out that people, like, we have terrorism that is going on in Africa everywhere, almost in every country. And these terrorists and these people who are attacking Africans all over, everywhere, they are being funded by the foreign powers. And when they're being funded by the foreign powers, they are only being funded by the foreign powers to actually frustrate Africans, or to frustrate those presidents and those leaders who are standing by themselves, who want the best for the people of Africa, who are saying no to foreign powers. Okay? So they are being attacked. So the question is, are we safe? And for how long is this going to happen? What are we going to do? That should be the question. Because we have to come out and decide this is what we are going to do. Because you see, right now, with the white people, hatred is not even being whispered anymore. It is being shouted. It's not whispered anymore. It's shouted. Like people are not afraid of hating other people. People are not afraid of hating human beings. Okay? So that is why all the times I sit here and I say, we as black people, we need to come together. We need to unite. And we need to decide that we cannot take this anymore. Because until when we decide, that is when we shall live peacefully. Okay? Until when we decide. Because right now black people cannot do anything. Anything that is pro-black is considered as bad. If they try to come up with a certain invention or any invention, it is considered to be a bad thing. Anything that is pro-black is considered a bad thing. And therefore, that is the kind of a life that a black person is living in the United States of America or in the whole world, even in Africa itself. Take a look.
Morgan, let me ask you, one of the people you interviewed there, a young man, said he's never felt safer in his community than he does now. So this could have an impact nationwide, things like this. I mean, there is a contagion factor in safety. People always seek it. What did the mayor or anybody that you spoke to think about the contagion factor?
Duran's, I don't want to speak for him, but after my conversation with him, I feel like I could confidently say he would say the contagion factor has already happened. Because when I asked, is this a reaction to a local moment or a national movement? And he said, look at January 6th. He said, you already have people felt emboldened to come here locally because of what they saw nationally. If you can hang from the building of the hallowed halls of the Capitol and then be pardoned, not be prosecuted, why don't you think you can come to a small village of African Americans, only 3,000?
Now, someone said, we are fought because we are capable, and we are fought because we are recognized. Because if we wouldn't be recognized, we wouldn't be fought. So all this fight and everything we're going through, every kind of racism and every kind of discrimination, we are being subjected to it because they know we are capable. And this should get to the ears of every black people that we are capable. That is why we are being fought. Okay? And therefore, we need to stand by ourselves. Listen and look at what happened to the Lincoln Heights. Those people decided to come out and created and build. They had to come up with people who are going to be the protectors of the Lincoln Heights, of that town. The protectors of that town. They walk around with guns, just like the police officers, just like soldiers. They are protecting their own people. That is what we're going to do henceforth. No more jokes, no more games. That is what needs to be done. That is what needs to be done. The same thing happened in Burkina Faso under Ibrahim Traore. Ibrahim Traore went around and he mobilized youths from Burkina Faso. What did he say? He told them, we have less number of militaries. And if we say we're using militaries alone, we cannot be able to protect the whole country. Therefore, we can't walk in the villages, we can't come to your places. Therefore, people from the villages and youths from the villages, you need to come out and help us fight this fight. Youths came out. They gave themselves volunteering. They volunteered themselves. They were taken through training on how to be able to defend themselves and defend their villages. They were given guns. They were told, you have to do this. And right now, Burkina Faso is always doing away with the terrorists. The same thing happened to Lincoln Heights. People around there, come out. You will protect your own people. We black people are the same people who can protect our own selves and protect our own people. We just need to come together, speak these things out, talk about them, and come up with one thing that we are supposed to do to make sure we are protecting our own people, because we have the mandate, we have the authority to protect our own people. Nobody else is coming out to protect us. Because you see, when these people are going to report to the police officers that actually this and this is what has happened to us, nobody cared about that. Nobody even came out and said, this is bad and we need to do away with it. Or rather, those people to maybe investigations to be done and they were taken into account, they were held into accountability. Nothing happened like that. So these people decided we shall stand by ourselves and protect our own selves. That is the way forward. Black people must be respected. Black people from all over the world, not only in diaspora, not only in Africa, but also in Caribbean and every other countries. Everywhere black people are, they must be respected, because black people have contributed a lot to the economy of every single country in the world. Therefore, they must be respected. They must not be treated just like any other people, like just anybody's, like animals, like people who does not exist, like not humans. They must be treated with respect. I am the African Streamline. This is African Streamline. Do let me know what you have to say in the comment section. My name is Atamba Heti, and I am here to make sure I'll read all your comments and give a response where possible. If it's your first time to be here, make sure you press the subscription box and the notification bell. Be the first person to get every news as it comes in. My black brothers from Caribbean, from diaspora, and from Africa, I salute you so much and I love you so much. You're such a great people, great souls that are supporting me every time. Adios, muchachos. Peace.